You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Claret and Blue podcast. My name is Dan Rowlands and I'm joined once more by Ashley Priest. Ash, we caught up 13 hours ago when we were discussing transfer deadline day. Have you had a good sleep since then, at least?
Yeah, I did, to be fair. I got the press conference time wrong this morning. I read it as 9:15. So I rocked up at Bodymoor pretty early. It was 9:45, actually, so half an hour early. Give me a chance to do some prep, I guess. But yeah, Bodymoor Heath this morning. Some stories over lunchtime. Spoke to Jan Bednarak as well. Spoke to him earlier. Nice. He had to sit down with the press. And all eyes on Man City tomorrow. Piece of cake, 3 points in the bag, and rocking and rolling again.
Well, we've been told many times that this podcast is too negative, so started well there with a score prediction early on already. I was terribly last night for some reason. I just couldn't get off after working late. I got terrible back pain as well, but yeah, less of that. Talk about the presser then. I love the fact you arrived half an hour early. It's tickled me for some reason. What was the mood like? The question I ask you every single week, because the longer it goes on that Villa don't start winning games, I assume it's going to get more and more somber over there. So how was it? You had more time to soak it in than usual.
Yeah, I was very rushed again. It's only we're going to get 10 minutes at the end of the broadcast section. I've had a look at the Gerrard's Villa TV one as well. But yeah, the mood is as you were. No real mega lines to come out of it. No, not much fighting talk really from the manager. He's just looking for a reaction and looking for a result. He wants his players to fight. He was asked what he's been pleased with most, and he says we're not too far away. Is what he said. But yeah, the players are showing the commitment, the fight that he's looking for, just lacking a little bit of quality and nice when needed. So yeah, no real juicy lines really. Spoke about Douglas Luiz's situation. He spoke with Dougie yesterday, outlined the reasons why the club wanted to keep him, given Arsenal's 3 bids in the end, I think it was. I think Douglas will be fine. He'll crack on. His contract situation is precarious. That'll roll into January, as we know, but it's World Cup year, and he'll knuckle down and wanting to get that Brazil team. And Douglas is a good egg anyway. He came to the fore when we needed him during Project Restart. He's always knuckled down and works hard. So I've got no problem with Douglas. Bit of a funny situation what played out yesterday, as we know. What else? You spoke about Dendoncker, the Dendoncker deal. He wasn't on Villa's list at all. Came out of nowhere. Came late, that one. I think Dendoncker wanted to push through with it. It's World Cup year. He wanted to get in the Belgium team and cement his place there. And that happened very quickly, the Dendoncker stuff. And sadly, he's got a bit of a throat issue. I think he needs a lozenge or something, but he's not very well. And he's a doubt for tomorrow. But yeah, Bednarak was a signing Gerrard and Jan Langer looked at. And he spoke well today as well and wants to be in threat in both boxes. Big, strong, physical guy. Bednarak, and he could start tomorrow, given the opposition's up against big and burly Erling Haaland. And yeah, he needs to be on your mettle there. So press conference, nothing juicy, nothing as you were, quite quiet. No real big lines from it. And yeah, just desperate for a result, and can't see one tomorrow, but you never know.
Yeah, it all does feel a little bit subdued, but that is going to happen with the nature of the results that we've had. And there's no point coming out and acting big and talking big when you're going to play Man City. And I've asked for score predictions in the comments as you were quite positive, and somebody said, "Oh, I don't look quite convinced with your score prediction," but there can't be many Villa fans who are going to be predicting Villa to win tomorrow or even nick a point. So you don't come out before that going, "Oh yeah, we're going to really take Man City to the edge and then lose 5-0 or something." So I understand it being a bit subdued, to be honest. I'll flash up the injury update card just because I've got it there, but it is Dendoncker who's the only one really, and kind of making a deadline day signing in time for them to play on the Saturday. And they might not feature because they've got a throat problem. Is classic Villa, isn't it?
Very Villa.
Only things happens to us. Like you said, get a Strepsil down you and jog on to them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a throat problem. What does that mean? Is that a COVID-related thing? Is it a precaution in not integrating him back? I'd say the same for Bednarak if that was the case. So yeah, strange one. I would have liked to see him start, to be honest, if he's fit and available, and he's got today and tomorrow morning kick off at 5:30, don't we? So the rest of tomorrow to hopefully get those Strepsils down him or the throat tablets are available. I would like to see him start. Bit of physicality in there, like you said. I'm not quite sure about Bednarak, but I'd almost have Dendoncker playing in there as a number 6 and say, right, you man Mark Haaland, If Haaland plays, you just follow him, stand on his toes, get in his way. That's your job for today. So if he's unavailable because of a sore throat, not a great start, but what can you do?
Yeah, I'd play him if he was fit and gets the okay to play. I think he'd suit playing alongside Kamara. Be a Man City have all the possession tomorrow. Be a low block from Villa, and stick on Erling Haaland. Keep him quiet if you can. Kick him up in the air if you have to. I'd love to start with Dendoncker tomorrow. Exactly the player we need, given the opposition we'll be coming up against. So tough old player Dendoncker, and hopefully it becomes a good signing for us.
I do think that it makes sense. We spoke about it last night on the deadline day show, but he's one of those ones that if I saw West Ham signing with Newcastle or Everton, I'd probably look at it and go, smart signing for them. So I'm kind of glad Villa did nip in there and maybe steal a deal away from somebody else. I think he adds a lot to, or could add a lot to the squad.
Yeah.
We normally have a break midway through these for away from match day. Is there anything else you want to specifically talk about that's not Man City related? It all just feels like it was all transfers yesterday. So is there anything else you do want to talk about away from Man City? Otherwise, this is going to be quite a short show.
Nothing much to discuss, really. Away from Man City, just need a result, don't we? Don't know. Any other business for you? Anything on the agenda for you?
No, it all just feels a little bit flat, doesn't it? I don't know whether this is because we've done a lot of podcasts this week, because obviously we played midweek with the Arsenal game as well. So we've done podcast Monday, one on Wednesday, deadline day last night. So there's no transfer rumours to talk about. I suppose Douglas Luiz maybe is a little bit of a talking point. That's kind of the match day, I suppose. I'm going to come on to it in a sec. But do you think he will be integrated back into the squad after the kind of antics yesterday, and that he is fit and ready and raring to go, and that won't really matter?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he starts tomorrow. Given we need discipline against Man City, I don't think Jacob Ramsey would start. I'm not sure on that one. So it'll be a toss-up between Douglas and Dendoncker, who comes in, I think, perhaps a three-man midfield. So it'd be interesting to see how Douglas's mentality is. I think he'll be fine. Villa are quite relaxed about that situation. Who knows? Maybe a new contract may be on the table, like we mentioned last night. Roundup. So we'll see with that one. Yeah, Douglas tends to play well against his former club, Man City. But shouldn't be a problem there. Anything else, really? Nothing really much going on, really. Very, very subdued, like you say. We need a result, and we need to lift the doom and gloom.
Here's an away from match day little thing. It's a comment from Peter Willis. He says, "Guys, I'm a bit disturbed by the fact we've let so many players go out on loan, especially those from the glorious generation of 2 seasons ago. We seem to need covering so many positions, but just let them all go. They're either not actually that good, or is Gerrard not prepared to play kids because he's secure in his own place as manager?" We did touch on this a little bit last night, but there is a lot of these players going out on loan that you almost look at somebody like El Ghazi, he's gone on a permanent, but someone like an El Ghazi or Traore now, if we do want to switch it up to play out-and-out wingers, I've only got Bailey, so letting go of all those forward players, as much as they might not have had a future, you do almost look at it and go, if we're in a pinch, we might need them. Timo Abuna, the same. Courtney Hawes, less so now we've got Bednarik in, but I understand... who name was that? Sorry, scroll past it. Peter, I understand the concerns there as well. Yeah,
and the thing is, when you play youngsters, the fans get right behind them, and you know what I mean. The crowd reacts, and they will them on. They don't be too negative with the youngsters. I'd like to see Tim play and Cameron Archer. There's a buzz around Cameron Archer at the moment. And the fans get right behind him when he comes on tomorrow, if he does. Someone like Jadon Philogene as well, doing well at Cardiff, a winger, in form last season. Yeah, I know he went out pretty early. But Villa are lacking in that winger department, as you spoke about yesterday as well. So, yeah, I'd like to see more of the youngsters, because the fans do really get right behind them, as we've said. But, yeah, we're in a sticky situation at the moment, and coming up against top opposition tomorrow. Yeah, you expect Villa will be camped in, and hopefully they'll take the chances if they arise. But, yeah, we've run City close twice, haven't we, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Final out last season, looking pretty good against them. It all collapsed in that 6 or 8 minute spell. Couldn't hang on. For love nor money. Then at Villa Park, when was that now? Back last November, something like that?
December, I think, early December.
Yeah, December. Khan had that chance late on as well. And we dug in, suffered together. It's calling Gerard phrase, and nearly got a result there. So we ran him close on 2 occasions, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But yeah, Haaland, Alvarez, I think De Bruyne was rested in the week as well, and Jack Grealish is back in training as well. He's missed the last 3 games, so he could come play tomorrow. Yeah, Man City strong, and you don't fancy Villa's chances, really. Hopefully galvanises them, and you know what I mean, that siege mentality. Go out there, you need to prove a point to the fans first and foremost. Come out there fighting, and the crowd will react with you. I mean, if you steam into a challenge early doors and show that commitment and willing to run behind the lines and go at Man City, you have the crowd with you then. And I mean, that put Man City on the back foot, but easier said than done. We need to see more, both from Gerrard tactically and from the players themselves.
Just going back to the youngsters there that we were talking about, it's also difficult to throw in 2 19-year-olds into the first team when you're on a sticky patch as well. Because if we started Timo Rabunam and Cameron Archer out of nowhere tomorrow and we've lost 4 out of 5, you'd be going, that's weird as well. You're putting the kids under pressure. So getting them loan time does make sense. I know Archer's still here. 2 that we didn't mention last night, I don't think we did anyway, unless I was half asleep, was Sanson and Gilbert. Obviously didn't secure moves away. I think the Turkish market is still open, which is a possibility at this stage, so at least they get some minutes, I suppose, because it looks like they don't have a future at Villa, does it?
No, you can put Nakamba in there as well. I think Nakamba wanted to move on as well. So I think Gerrard will have a conversation with all those mentioned today. He needs to rally around them, and he'll assess what will happen with that Turkish window we're aware of as well. But they need to reset and hopefully push themselves in contention once again. There was push to one side, which would have been hard to deal with. We've seen Gilbert's tweet yesterday, spoke of his disappointment of not securing a move for him. Gerrard has spoken about them 3 today, and we'll have conversations with them and try and reset them, and hopefully they can show a bit of form in training. And it all depends whether they get some game time on the pitch, which, judging by what we've seen so far, is doubtful. So, a penny for their thoughts, really. We'll see what happens with them and what develops. So, disappointing.
Yeah, with Sanson and Gilbert, it is difficult because that's now Smith and Gerrard that both haven't really played much with them. Gilbert did have a spell, didn't he? But not much after that. Sanson's barely had a look in at all, and I know he's had his injury problems. The fact that they're still here at the moment, and obviously they could still move on to somewhere in the next week, I think the Turkish market is open for. It's obviously a possibility they go. If they do stay, there's always a chance that if there is a managerial change at Villa, they've got a third fresh start. But when a couple of managers don't play them, it doesn't particularly bode well that there's something they've seen that they don't quite fancy. So I don't really see things changing. Let's do predicted 11 then. I asked you to do this before. I had to knock up a few extra graphics because you put Bednarek in there. Spoiler alert. We just talked about wanting to put Dendoncker in available. He's not in this side that we've picked because of, I assume, the throat situation that you talked about. But if he is fit, I would like to stick him in there. But just talk me through this predicted 11 that you've gone for. Yeah,
well, I've gone for Bednarek, giving me sheer size up against what will be against Haaland, and hopefully he can do a job against him physically. I think Konsa's lacking that little bit of physicality at the moment, a little bit of confidence. But speaking to Bednarek earlier, he's full of life, and you can see it in his eyes. He's desperate to impress here, and he spoke about his willingness to he's been promised game time as well, Bednarek, which obviously is a given anyway when you do transfer negotiations. And I play Bednarek tomorrow, give him a crack, and who knows? But if Dunker's fit and available, I'd start him in a 2 alongside Kamara, with the 3 behind the Watkins in front of them. So that's it. We need to see some performances tomorrow. John McGinn, can he put in a performance now? So it's all on the players, really. I think that system I've just showed you there, the 2 10s, Buendia, Coutinho, they caused City problems at the Etihad on the final day of last season. I know it's a different City side now. So, but I can't see Villa going with 2 strikers tomorrow, as they usually do at home with Ings and Watkins. I think that I think we need more bodies behind the ball. And hopefully a bit of quality when we have it, and when Buendia and Coutinho have that. So hopefully, in the good moments, we're willing to take the chances, and hopefully, I think that's why they'll go 2 10s behind a 9, a 3-man midfield, and bodies on the line at the back, I suspect.
Pep Guardiola was doing his press conference at 1:30, so there's every chance that Haaland is rested at some point. I think there was talk of it before the Forest game, and then he started that, scored a hat-trick, and then came off. But Haaland could come on after with 20 minutes ago and score a hat-trick. To be honest, he's an alien of a footballer. He could do anything. There's almost no shame losing to Man City, because no one wants to lose a game, and I don't really like this kind of free hit attitude that if you do lose 4-0, you go, oh well, it doesn't matter, on to the next one, because it is a bit of a case of, there's a comment here from Dan, damage limitation. You don't want to get a battering. You don't want to have your goal difference taking a hit when you're already losing 4 out of 5. You want to be in the game. Like we gave Man City 2 decent games last season, like you said. One of Gerrard's first games when he joined, one of his first defeats, and you kind of thought, well, we were in that in the second half. We scored early doors in the second half. Like, we've kind of been unlucky to lose, really. And obviously 2-0 up against them on the final day of the season, and we all know what happened in that 6-minute, 8-minute mental spell. So it's difficult to write off games, but we are going to do score predictions in a second. I think we'll probably both put Villa to lose, and most people will, because that's being realistic. But you've got to at least go out there and see some kind of fight. And if we do go ahead, or we score a couple of goals and lose in another 3-2 or 4-2 or something like that, you could at least go, well, we've seen something there for signs of progress that we now go and beat bottom of the table Leicester the week afterwards, which is a massive, massive game. Yeah. So if we can nick something, whether it's a point or the full 3 tomorrow, which I can't even believe I'm suggesting it, that will make a massive, massive difference. But I can't see it, to be honest. Can you?
No, I can't. It all depends on the atmosphere tomorrow. If Man City score early, you'll hear a pin drop, and it could turn quite quickly.
If we go 1-0 down early, it's game over. There's literally no way we come back.
But like you say, I think Man City went ahead at Newcastle in the 5th minute, and you expect them to run away with it, and Newcastle pegged them back. The crowd got right behind them, and Man City struggled a little bit. So I'm hoping the crowd play a part tomorrow, but the fans need to see something on the pitch for that to happen. Villa need to really go at the City and make it a tough game and drag them into a dogfight if they can. So here's hoping. Got to hope, ain't you? You can't see anything other than the City win. I'll try and be positive. Maybe nick a draw, but given what Newcastle did to City at St James's and what that did, but yeah, Newcastle in a far better place than Villa at the moment, and we'll see what plays out. So we need to see big improvements across the board, don't we? Really?
Yeah, let's get some score predictions in the live chat then. We'll also go to our SAD, or whatever you want to call it, spreadsheet of the season predictions so far. It's colour-coded and everything. It is sad, but I like to keep a track of things now. So I'm actually in the lead now after Arsenal, just on the basis that I seem to keep getting the correct outcome. I've had it 4 times so far. You got 1 correct score. You've nailed the Bolton one, and Pat's got 2 correct outcomes. So 4 points for me, 3 points for you, and 2 points for Pat in the month of August. Pat, I already asked him for a scoreline on WhatsApp, and he sent me loads of numbers, 0. And I was like, I can't put that in my spreadsheet. And he said, all right, 3-0. So he's gone for a 3-0 defeat. I'll put you first. What do you want to go for? What do you want me to enter into this little tab?
I've got 2-1 City.
2-1 City. Okay. I think I've got to join you in saying a defeat, to be honest, because I just can't see anything else. Am I going to go the most negative out of all of us again? Yes, probably. I'll say 4. Actually, you know what? 4-1. Let's have a goal. Maybe we'll go ahead early and get a bit of optimism and think we're going to win, and then maybe we push the shreds in the second half or something. I don't take any joy. I'm smiling. I'm laughing. I don't take any joy there. Having 3 red score predictions in a row there for me. I don't like predicting Villa to lose, but got a league to have one out. I want to be realistic. I want to win this mini league. Some comments then. Let's finish on these. 0-9. 4-1 City, 0-7. Score could be anything. 4-0, 3-1, 5-1, 5-1, 5-0. 2-2.
Keep the faith.
Take a 2-2. 0-2. 3-1. 2-0 Villa. There we go. We'll end on that. FM Rage. 2-0 Villa, the first winning score prediction from the podcast. Yeah, I mean, I just want to see a performance. I think we're very all clearly seeing Villa expecting to lose. If we go there and we come away from it and we're doing our post-match pod tomorrow night and we're saying, you know what, we were in that for the first half, or we were in that for an hour, we went ahead, we looked okay, we had some energy about us. I'll take some kind of positivity into Leicester then, and I'll be coming on here before Leicester and going, you know what, we're going to win because we looked right against Man City. I just don't want to see a tepid performance when we're nowhere near it and they just win 6-0 or something, and it's just pathetic. I want to see something. Yeah, that's it, Ash. I think I'll let you crack on with the rest of your day. Just a short, quick one. Like we said, we've done a lot of podcasts this week, so we are going to be repeating ourselves if we go into transfers and things like that again. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for the score predictions, however negative they might be. It's me and Matt Kendrick on the post-match pod tomorrow night, so 5:30 kickoff. So 9:30, 10 p.m, something like that. We'll do it. So join us for that, and then we'll look ahead to see what happens with Villa and Steven Gerrard and the rest of the players heading into next week. Ash, thanks for your time. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow evening. Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do let us know. We love hearing your feedback. We'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, up the Villa.